Well, welcome back, viewers, wherever you are tuned in from. This is the Thursday Morning Digest, and I have my wonderful guest in studio who is teaching us about women empowerment and the amazing work that she's doing in Uganda. So the first part of the show, we've looked at 5 key pillars that as a woman you need to be concerned about, just in terms of getting you aligned with your purpose. Yes. And then we have looked at the work she's doing in Uganda and the different interventions that they are making to assist women in Luka district. So now we want to look at how do we empower the women financially. You've already given us the 5 pillars as a background. Yes. That, you know, women need to be concerned about. Then now financially, yes, where does that even begin? We can look at the rural woman. Yes. And then now we come to maybe the woman that's in the city. And then now, of course, we look at our young people.
Really, for the women, cuts across.
Yeah.
Number 1 should be value. With empowerment, financial empowerment, I like to start with value.
Yes.
I like to ask a woman, what value are you giving to society?
Yeah.
Very important question. Very important question because if you're going to earn out of it or to make money out of it, that should be your core question.
Yeah.
What value am I adding that if I do this value continuously, it should be able to bring me income?
Yeah.
My people perish due to lack of knowledge. Skill.
Yeah.
Very important. What skills do you need to add on to that value?
Yeah.
To be able to make it marketable. Marketable in terms of people look for you because of that skill that you have, of the skill you've added to the value. Like a person who does hair.
Yeah.
I will look for you because you plait very nice cornrows. I'll look for you because you do very good things like that.
Yeah.
What skill do you have that when you do it, it makes a difference to a person, to people around you, and to society? Very important. Because in as much as you will give someone money, there's giving a person fish and teaching the person how to fish.
Yes.
So how to fish is more sustainable. So skill, ladies, what skills do you have? Or no, what value? What do you feel within you that we all have our passions? Like God has a beautiful way He has made His purpose for us. He has revealed His purpose for us. Why there are things that we do effortlessly. So if there are things that you can do effortlessly, what do you need to add on to those things to make them marketable enough for you to get an income out of?
Wow.
So I think this cuts across all, either rural or even us or anyone. That is it.
Yes.
So once you know that, what do I need to add? Do that, and then go out there and sell yourself.
Okay.
So I think, and you can sell yourself more confidently when you know, or when you have honed your skill.
Yeah.
So I think there has to be a lot of work with that.
Yeah.
And then look at options. Right now we have no excuse of ignorance.
Yeah.
Even AI has, hey, AI. Google might give you, options, might dilly-dally with options, but AI will come and will give you, rules and and things that it will give. There's a lot of information on the internet. So there is no excuse for not knowing or not understanding or not planning or not going out there. There are very many institutes. If you say funds and things like that, there are very many institutes that do what? That give free courses in the beginning.
Yes.
But of course, in the long run, you will need to also factor in the fact that you will need to pay a bit of money to hone your skill.
Yeah.
So you have a passion. What is that passion? What can you do? What do you need to add on to it to be able to make it marketable or to be able to make sure that it earns you a return financially? Yes.
Wow, beautiful. I think viewers, I hope you are getting that you need to be adding value.
Yes.
Adding value means that perhaps there's already something existing.
Yes.
Somebody is already offering a
Yes.
service, but there's something extra
Yes,
that
that
you
you're
are
doing.
adding.
Yes.
Okay. And then there's also the skill set.
Yes.
You really need to improve your skills. Okay.
Very important.
There's an analogy that somebody once used. I went through some training. Well, maybe not training per se, but a life coach.
Yes.
And you know, they talk about sweet spot. They
Yes.
talk about, I think in Japanese lingua they call it the ikigai.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
I don't know if I sit
yeah.
down and talk about ikigai.
We'll talk until
5
tomorrow.
hours. 5 hours. So I tend to just do a summary
Yeah.
because it's a beautiful way
Yeah.
of describing
Yes.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you do effortlessly?
Yes.
How can you use it to make you money?
Yes.
What do you need to do to improve it?
Yes.
So you write down 3 things that you can do effortlessly in your sleep. Then you ask yourself, can they make me money?
Yeah.
Or what can I do to improve them so
Yes.
that they can help me make money?
Yeah.
So something like that.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah. So I think viewers, that's something you need to really
Yes.
look at, because I'm saying this because I'm one person who I consider myself partially an entrepreneur.
Yes.
And that question is very important because, especially for us people of faith,
Yes.
because we believe by faith we can do all things
Yes,
through Christ who
who
strengthens us. So we just go by faith, but yet ignore that faith is not in a vacuum. It is founded on the things that you are talking to us about
Yes.
this morning. So viewers, I think this is a very important value, skill.
Yes.
Can people pay for it?
Yes, can people pay for it?
Yeah, so you don't just go out there and decide, oh, I want to make money, so I can do this. I'm
Yes,
going
so
to sell my
through
mandazi.
Christ who strengthens me.
Yeah.
And then you're selling mandazi in an area where people prefer chapati.
Yeah,
And then you come back and you're very frustrated.
Yes.
But you have not done market
Yeah.
research. That's why.
Yeah.
That's what I'm telling you about. Even
Yeah.
with the skill and the knowledge.
yes.
Knowledge of the market. You know, there are things we can, trust me, we can all do things through Christ who strengthens us. But there has to be,
Yeah.
it has to be backed up by knowledge.
Yes.
If we wake up and we run with that, hey, I know I will put my mandazi here and then it will be okay. And then, you know, the council is chasing after you. And
Yes.
then you need to know, you need to realize that you're operating
Yeah.
in the world. The faith is amazing, but then there are guidelines. Even Jesus was very clear when he's giving us, like, give God what belongs to God and give Caesar. So the God what belongs to God, what is it? I have the faith, I have the what, then give Caesar. What
Yeah.
is Caesar?
Yeah.
What is the market? How does it look like? How can I operate? Who is my target market?
Yes.
What am I supposed to do with them?
Yes.
All this is the Caesar part.
Yes.
And unfortunately, you cannot separate the two. You cannot separate the two.
Yeah.
So the faith is important, it's amazing, but it has to be backed
Yeah.
by knowledge of the environment, because you're not going to operate in the air. What you're going to, the same people, they are people that you're going to operate with. So you
Yeah.
need to know the dynamics.
Yeah.
So yeah, very true.
Okay. Yeah. So now once I have the skill,
Yes.
I feel I can add value
Yes.
here, and I know if I do this, people
Yes.
can
Yes.
pay for
Can
it.
pay for it.
Yeah.
Yes.
What next?
Then,
Because I may need capital, I may
yes.
need, so how are you empowering women?
Yes.
Because you've really talked about the education side of
Yes,
it. So you
yes.
equip them with the skills,
Yes.
the knowledge, you've set up centers,
Yes.
you've ensured the girls are going to school.
Yes.
But now they are here and the ladies are saying, all these things you have now equipped
Yes.
me. Now, how do I?
how do I go out
yeah.
there?
How do
Then,
I convert this knowledge
yes,
into
into-
dollars or shillings?
So that's where we come in, and
Yeah.
then you're asking what value are you adding?
Yes.
Does it need capital?
Yes.
Then that's where you come in and you have people who pitch.
Yes.
We have pitching competitions.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Where someone comes, gives the idea. Then we have a seed capital that we start with, because
Okay.
we're a small organization.
Yes.
It's not too much.
Yeah.
At least something to start you off,
Yes.
and then we keep monitoring
Okay.
and advising you. So there is something. There's a shift in the latter day glory. There's something called the 7 mountains. I
Of
think you've heard
influence,
about
yes.
them, yes, of influence and everything.
Yeah.
So you try to look at that aspect, and then you're asking yourself. So in terms of finance,
Yeah.
like what can you do, and then you monitor. Because I realized that yes, we give people the skill, and then maybe someone wins a competition, they're given money, but there's still mentorship that has to continue.
Wow.
Same as just converting someone to accept the Lord and Savior. That's just the beginning of the journey.
Yeah.
And most of the times we celebrate, they've accepted, but
Yeah.
that's just the beginning.
Yeah.
There still has to be someone who holds their hand,
And works with them.
keeps them accountable,
Yeah.
like an accountability partner.
Yes.
So we have people who volunteer. So they're particular, like women who come and they're like, this is my trade, this is my trade. So I try to pair them with women who have succeeded
Wow.
in that environment, who will come and mentor them. And it's easier when you're listening to a person who has your similar problems,
Yeah.
similar worries, and when they advise you and encourage you and tell you that you can do this, you can make it,
Yeah.
you tend to believe it more than a person who's doing something else
Yeah.
and then coming with the motivational speaking things. Yeah,
Speaking from
yes.
abstract, yeah.
So that's what we do. We try and pair, then you have the competitions like that. Then we have people we reach out to and we ask if there is a way they can support
Okay.
such businesses.
Okay.
So maybe if they're doing the knitting and what, if they're doing the weaving, basket weaving and
Yes,
what,
yes.
is their market
Yeah.
very important. So once you try to bridge that, and once you try to show them that there's actually market there,
Yes.
then there's quite a lot of activity that happens, because usually the rural areas are marginalized, and
Yeah.
when you're working deep down there, there's a bit of an issue with getting their products to the consumer, and usually sometimes the middlemen just rip them off. So that just makes them discouraged and everything.
Yeah.
So if you have a bridge, or if you have people who have, you partner with them and you tell them when they do, then they'll go, let them bring, I'll put in my shop, then we'll do what? So that's what we're trying to do.
Wow.
We're trying to do a bit of seed capital.
Okay.
Then when you're doing the skill, we're trying to look for people around us. That's the beauty of networking, of having networks. Someone will come, you'll talk to them, and then they'll be in a space where they're like, oh, we can help, and then they can bring their stuff there. So even as the skills that we try to train right now, we're trying to be realistic. We're trying to see, where do we have influence? And where do we have networks that can push what the women are doing to cash? Yes. So that's where we go, you do the sewing, because you know what, I'll go and tell these people, they'll give us business, they'll do what, then the basket weaving and what, that when I come, this person is going to take it to the market. So we're trying to create skills that will be easy for us to get the product, to link the women to either the retailer or to the final buyer.
Wow.
So that's what we're doing. Yes.
Wow, beautiful. So I hear you to be saying that you are interested in an end-to-end process for these women, so that at the end of the day, they get to convert every investment that you have put in them into meaningful, financial gain.
Meaningful, one. And then number two, we want them to be mentors.
Okay.
Very important. So we are creating like a sort of a mentorship. So I might not reach all the women due to financial constraints, but if I train this one and she has 10 of her friends, so I'm looking at a trickle down effect. So that's why we move with them.
Through the process.
Yes, through the process. We move with them through the process. We get people to advise them. We get people to mentor, so that when someone sees her and comes and sits down and tells her, I want to do this, how do I do it? They should be able to mentor. So number one, there is that, the financial aspect. Then number two, we are hoping that, you can't force someone to mentor what. We are hoping that they will, spread the kindness by also being mentors and supporting other women who would want to do what they want to do. Yes, what they're currently doing. Yes.
So maybe again a quick question just coming out of that.
Yes.
So is there a criteria that you use to get these women into the program? Or do you just go to the district and say, any woman come? Is there an evaluation process? I'm asking this for the sake of somebody who is listening to you and they have a passion to help women. So that they just want to know how you do it so that perhaps they can replicate it.
Okay, so the first way is when we do trainings, we just send out like an invite to. So what we do is we've first done a sample space. So there's the Mothers Union women in a church. So I think that has been our pilot program because it helps us identify, number one. Number two, there are people whose homes are known. Yes. So in case of anything, you know, you'll just go there, knock, and you're like, she's supposed to give back 10,000. We're not seeing the person. Where is she? So that's the sample space we start with. Then afterwards, there are women who are serious, or even when you do the, you know, the exam, not the exams per se, you know, the tests and the what and what you see. There are people who, you know, their drive and their enthusiasm is so strong. So you pick out those and then you take them into the next level. So what do you want to do? What skill do you have? And most especially when we are starting right now, it was very nice to have women who have some form of skill that we are just building up on and doing what? Because those ones are more malleable than dealing with a person who still does not know what they want to do. That's like shooting in the dark. So maybe you train them this and maybe they'll pick, maybe they'll not pick. But someone who has some form of skill, maybe I'm weaving, I can do a bit of sewing, I'm doing my vegetable garden, and this is ABCDE. They're easier to work with because they already have started on something, so you just come in and just build up on it. So right now, due to the resources and, you know, the manpower, we are dealing with people who already have some form of skill that we just want to come in, you know, panel beat, and then just take it to another level. Yes.
Wow, interesting. And that takes us still back. It takes us back to the 5 pillars for women who are listening and the men who love them. That, I mean, you can't just sit as a woman and say, I'm sitting and waiting, you know. You need to have something, because even the people who would come to help you, it means they come to help you when there's something they can pick in you that they can develop.
Even Jesus used to ask, what do you have?
Let
us not go far. What do you have? We have 5 loaves and 2 fish. He says, okay, bring that.
So I think it's a challenge. And I hope our viewers are listening.
It is.
It is a challenge for us to have something. Have something that can be
have
used.
Some passion, even something that someone can build up on, something that your husband looks at and is like, you know, if I put in a bit of money, she can be able to do ABCD. But sometimes starting from scratch, there's the excitement of starting, and then you reach in the middle, like, I don't think this is for me. That's a lot of resources that have been wasted in terms of time, money, and everything. But a person who already has something that they're doing, or is, you know, doing something here and there, it's easier to support them. It's very easy. So what do you have? Very important. We all have a skill set that we're inborn with. How are we practicing it? How are we bringing it out? Even before it starts earning you money, someone has to see that you're trying to do something. That you don't wake up, do the usual chores or what, and then just sit. There has to be something extra that you're doing, even when it's not bringing in money for now, but it is something that you can use to bring in money later. And even in today's environment, let us be honest. Number one, you just don't want to go through life surviving or just merely existing. There has to be hopes and dreams that we have. And to build up to those hopes and dreams, there has to be some financial muscle. And even when both single, I'm just talking women per se, no single, no married, no what, because at the end of the day, it is you. Your blueprint is yours. What do you want to do? How are you going to do it? And then expecting another person to come, I'm exonerating husbands for now. Expecting someone to come and to do, you know, to just do everything for you, to give you everything is a bit of it's hard, it's tough, because even the man is in his corner trying to fight and, you know, contemplate the meaning of what is being a man, and what are his, you know, what are his responsibilities. So when you're coming in and trying to, your self-love, try and make sure that at least your self-love part, you're really working towards it, and you're contributing to it some way. So that when you're asking for help, you're not asking for 100% help. You're asking for help up to a certain percentage that makes it easier for a person to come in and help.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow, amazing. And that brings me to the question that Moses Okoth, thank you for tuning in this morning, has asked. How can men help, or husbands help their wives to become financially
very
empowered?
important question.
Yeah.
I will want to quote a verse in the Bible that for me is just a beautiful summary. Genesis 1, 26 to 28, where the Lord said, let us make man as our image. And he created man and he created woman. Then I want you to understand, when he made man, he created man in his own image. But when he removed the rib, the man ceased to be his image. He was not perfect. When he created woman, man and woman became perfect. So man and woman are one. And then after doing that, he blessed them. I want us to bold, italicize, and underline them. He did not call man aside and bless him. He did not call woman aside and bless him. He blessed them. So even before God blessed the church, he blessed the family unit. So to answer his question is, when you're working as man and woman, you already have, as in your blessing is already destined, because as man and woman together, you are the image of God. And once you're the image of God, then automatically you are blessed. So how does a man support? You are mandated. Because if you're going to be, if you're blessed together, you and your wife. So when you see something that she can do and you feed into it and you support it, you're also adding on to your what? Onto your blessings. So if you operate you operate individually as a husband individually, a wife individually, you're still not in the image of God. But when you're working together, that's the image of God, and that is what God blesses. So for marrieds, the beautiful part about it is, you guys, the marrieds have already an automatic blessing, because they're what? In the image of God. So how do you make sure that you tap into those blessings? You have to make sure that as you're growing, your wife is also growing. You're not leaving each other behind. Very, very important. So that's why I come in with the emotional side. That, you know, the emotional side, I want to talk about love, patient, kind, does not keep record of wrongs. What you, both of you have to be in a beautiful emotional space. For the blessings, for the image of God to happen, and for the blessings to flow through you. So there has to be a lot of cohesion, there has to be a lot of communication, there has to be a lot of togetherness between the husband and wife for anything to succeed. That togetherness, that you don't want to leave her behind and she doesn't want to leave you behind. So just to encourage marrieds, because sometimes it will be the female who has, the wife who has, and the husband who doesn't have. You have to support each other, because in the Bible you're guaranteed that God blessed them. Very important. That is the first thing that God blessed, a family unit, even before he blessed the church. So that is how important the family unit is. And that it shows how important God wants the husband and wife to work together. So you just have to work together. And when you're working together, you've seen very many success stories where a person who's single got someone, and then they've been working and they're doing it, you know, they're plugged in and they are blooming. Why? Because God is not man that he should lie. His blessing is guaranteed for people who are in his image. And a marriage unit is definitely God's image.
Yes. Beautiful. So thank you, Juliet Kathure. I see you are watching. Thank you so much. Maggie Melody, thank you. Moses Okotha Ken, thank you so much. There are a few more people I may not be able to tell immediately,
Yes.
but thank you so much for tuning in this morning. If you have any questions, we are just about to wind up the show. Please send them through so that we are able to respond to them. So I just want us to again break it down.
Yes.
So there's the blessing, they are working together. Yes. But are there specific things that a husband should do? Okay, people usually joke about the Proverbs 31 husband. Yes. The one who sits at the gate. You know?
No, it's not supposed to be literally. When the woman runs around and does everything, and then he comes back to praise her, bless her. No. Yes.
Yeah. So we just want to see what are the specifics. For example, what comes to mind easily is the man must identify and give space to the woman.
Yes, very important.
That the man must identify what are the gifts, the talents in the woman, and then give space.
Yes.
So maybe 2-3 more before we close. We just have about 3 minutes or so.
Number 2 has to create a conducive environment at home. Submission is very important, but for submission to happen, the man has to be plugged in in the spirit. So what kind of environment, spiritual environment, is he creating? Because once the spiritual environment is worked on, then the emotional comes in. Like I said, women thrive amazingly.
When there's emotional support.
Peace and emotional support.
So
there's that. So even before the financial comes in, even before there has to be a safe space in terms of mentally. If she's not stressed, if she's not worried, if she's not frustrated, that's one. The man can create that. Then number 2, spiritually. Are you praying for her? Are you holding her up? Are you, when you come to someone and you're advising her, are you advising her coming from a point of love or coming from a point of control? Yes, competition and control. So that's very important. Create a space. Even before she tells you, I want this amount of money or what, create a space, like you say, create space for her to thrive, but then spiritually, be a spiritual mentor, because you're the head of the home. You're the head of the home. And then emotionally, just be emotion. Just let her thrive emotionally. Like just be there for her emotionally. And once all that is there, even if you give her 5,000 shillings or 10, she'll go out there with a lot of energy, with a lot of gas to really, really make things happen. Yes.
Wow.
So support, really support, support, and then positive criticism. Very important. Because as a man, yes, you are both a husband and you're also a mentor in some sort of way. So positive criticism is very important as well. Because we are seeking to grow together. So if we sit down and you say, you know this, you can do this, but I feel that you need to hone this skill, or you need to do this and this and that, because you're the one who spends more time. You know this person intimately, in all her facets, both intimately, physically, everything. So you are the best person to be able to see traits that might not work or might work, and then advise them accordingly. Yes.
Wow.
So just be open to each other.
Okay. Great. Viewers, I hope you have learned a lot about empowerment and the fundamentals of empowerment as a woman. And I hope you remember the 5 pillars. Those are very, very important for us, because those actually are the foundation. Because even from what I'm hearing from you, if a man can facilitate those 5, still the woman will thrive. So the men that are watching, let's help the women in our lives, whether wives, sisters, mothers, let's help them to thrive and be economically empowered. So I just wanted to do a short recap of the things that we have discussed. And for me, I think the most fundamental of everything we have discussed, other than the 5 pillars, is value, skill, knowledge. Value, skill, knowledge.
Very important. Very important.
So viewers listening to us, remember that. You want to be economically empowered. What value are you adding? What skill sets do you have? and then what is the knowledge you have, either of the skill you have,
Yes.
the market,
Yes.
the business environment. Yeah.
Things of registration.
Yes.
You know, you tell, say, I want to, you know, I'll be big. Yes, the Lord showed me I'll be big. Yes, but
Yeah.
are you compliant?
Yeah.
Are you registered? Are you
Yeah.
what? Do you have, you know, the whatever's in place?
Yeah.
According to your business, what do you need to do?
Yeah.
Do you have it in place? Very important. So that's all falls under knowledge.
Okay.
Yes.
And I think what you're also saying is you need a plan.
Yes. That's why a blueprint.
Yeah.
Where am I going?
Yes.
I'm going here. Like I
Yes.
said, I'm going to town. What do I use? I can use an Uber, I can use a Boda Boda, I can
Yes.
use a bike, I can use a what. So how are you going to get there? Because once you know that I'm going to
Yeah.
Kenya Cinema Building,
Yeah.
then you'll advise, the board of transport will advise, do I want to reach early? What can I afford to get there?
Yeah.
Once you have a plan, once you have a blueprint of this is what I want to do, then the rest of the things are easy, malleable. Like I say, there's savings and there's everything.
Yes.
I've realized when you save without a plan,
Yeah.
there's this beautiful, other people, YOLO, is so easy.
Yeah.
Because when you have money, then you're seeing people going to Hawaii. You'll be like, YOLO, you
Yeah.
pick.
Yeah.
But if that saving is attached to something, it's quite a bit hard because
Yeah.
you fight with yourself every time you go to sleep. You're like,
Yeah.
you're going to Hawaii, but this thing, you're dragging it.
Yeah.
So even when you're saving, there has to be a purpose why you're saving. When you're investing, there has to be a purpose. There has to be something attached
Yeah.
to the reason why you're doing you're doing delayed gratification. There has to be a reason why, and it has to be solid. Otherwise, if it is not solid,
Yeah.
at the end of the year, you know, as in the village they have this what are they called? They call them piggy banks.
Yeah.
But they are wooden boxes
Yes.
that they do with like a small hole where you can throw in money, but you
Yes.
cannot remove it.
Ah.
So we have this thing where you always have a hammer beside.
Yeah.
YOLO comes,
Yeah.
pick out everything, and
You
then
go.
hammer
Yeah.
it back, and
Yeah.
then the next time, like, yes, this
Yeah.
time I'm going to save. So there has to be
A purpose.
yes, there has to be a purpose. So there has to be something attached to the reason why
Yeah.
you're saving.
Wow.
To make it to make it make sense and to make you like be disciplined about the saving. Yeah.
Okay.
So saving, investments, anything.
Yeah.
Blueprint.
Yeah.
Very important.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, viewers, that's all we had time for today. Unfortunately, we have to end the show here. Our time is up completely. But I'll just give my guest 30 seconds to give us her parting shot.
Yes.
And then we close for today.
Yes, for women, just start with anyone. Just start with anyone. We are always bashing each other. You know, you read and we're just bashing each other.
Yeah.
We need to raise each other up because we're the ones who have more issues, more issues. And you know, we are emotional. We are emotional animals. Let me say that. So let's support each other any way you can support a woman. Please do. Sometimes we think it has to be financially, it has to be material. No, sometimes there are intangible ways where you can just advise someone. You know, if you have a skill, you can share it. If you have connections, you can give them. If there are opportunities, you can, you can line them to them. Let us support each other. Let us support each other. Let us pray for each other. And then self-love. Very, very important. Because if you're going to be a Proverbs 31 woman, you have to know what the Lord's plan and purpose is for you. And once you know it and once you're practicing it, all these things, you'll have a beautiful life.
Okay.
Yes. Just stay plugged in. Spiritually, stay plugged in.
Okay.
Yes.
Great, viewers. So that's all we had time for today. Until next Thursday, same time, I have been your host, Laureen Magotsi. Have a wonderful day ahead and God bless you.